Check this out. Oh, that one moved the whole car. Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's James again, and we are here once again in the BEATER Beamer. This is my 2002 BMW X5 3-liter that I bought 3 months ago for $3,300. A lot of threes there. And I've been driving this thing around San Diego. I've been taking it off-road, on dirt roads, to the beach, around town, Whole Foods, putting it through all the things that an SUV is supposed to do. I absolutely love this car. But of course it's not perfect, even though it is in very good condition. So today I want to talk about everything that's gone wrong in this car, maybe some things that you should look out for if you are interested in buying one of these. The first thing that's gone wrong with this car is the steering wheel adjustment. There's this little knob, or stalk rather, down here that's supposed to move the steering wheel. And this is a really common problem in the X5s of this generation. If you move the stalk around it just nothing happens. One of the most common ways to fix this problem is to change, weirdly enough, to change the panel of switches on the side of your seat. The memory seat module down here does control the steering wheel and its position. So apparently some relay goes bad in there. I haven't bothered to fix it. Why? Because the steering wheel is actually stuck in a position that I find fairly comfortable, and so yeah, I'm good. I'll just leave it the way it is. The second issue that I've had with this car is an oil leak. There's some kind of leak down there that I just discovered because the oil light came on about 4,000 miles after the last oil change. And also when I got an oil change just yesterday, the guys doing the oil change noted that there was some leakage down there. I'm not too worried about it. It gave me the warning after, thousands of miles of driving this thing around, and pretty tough miles too, like really short distances in town, as well as going on steep dirt roads and all kinds of weird stuff. The inline 6, the M54 engine in this particular vehicle is a lot better than the N62 and the M62s that were the V8s of this vintage. Those V8s tend to leak a lot more. So a little bit of leakage in a car like this, this car has 124,000 miles on it. I'm not too worried about it, and we'll just let it be. The third thing that is broken on this car is, well, it's not really broken, but it's a little bit wonky. The hatch in the back of this car is a two-piece hatch where you first open the top piece and then you can open a tailgate. And that top piece sometimes gets stuck, and the way to open it is while you're opening it, meaning while you're pressing the button on the key, or while you press the button down here, there needs to be somebody pulling a little bit on the trunk lid, because if you don't, the actuator does its thing, but then it doesn't quite pop open enough so that it's actually fully released, and then it kind of gets into this weird stuck mode. All right, here's a demonstration on how to successfully open the hatch. As you press the button on the key, you want to be pulling, and then it opens. If you don't, if you just press the button, it kind of gets stuck. As you can see, it is stuck now. Let me try this again. There we go. That's how you make it work. That's something to watch out for. These trunk hatches are pretty finicky from what I hear. The bottom half seems to be just fine. I don't see as many problems with it. Maybe it's because it's not used as often, because in order to open the bottom, you have to open the top. But if you open the top, you don't have to open the bottom. You can just lift your grocery bags into there, right? So maybe it's a function of that top half being used a lot more or something, but it does get a little finicky. Problem number 4. This car has some weird, like any good BMW, has some weirdness in the electronics. The right side taillight tends to shine a little bit brighter than it should, and then it burns out fast. So that happens once in a while. And then also this car periodically has a warning about the license plate light. They're working, so I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it's just a bad connection, maybe it's a little dirty in there, who knows. But yeah, this would not be a BMW without some electrical issues. And finally, I'm going to talk about the biggest issue of all with this car. This is a big problem, actually, with the E53s, especially the pre-refresh ones with the 5-speed transmissions. It is a horrendous, sometimes horrendous, clunk when going into reverse or into drive. What happens is that over time, certain parts of the powertrain, most people say that this occurs primarily in the transfer case. The parts wear out, or the chain stretches in the transfer case. And what happens is when you've got the transmission in, say, drive, everything is kind of pushed over in one direction, right? And then if you suddenly put it in reverse, boom, all of a sudden the engine it pushes everything the other way, and that slack causes things to slam into place. I'll demonstrate it for you now. Check this out. Oh, that one moved the whole car. Okay, now I'm gonna try to demonstrate to you my method of avoiding the clunk. Okay, hopefully it will not clunk. So I coasted to I put it in neutral right before I came to a stop. And we put it in reverse. Smaller clunk, not too bad. And let's see, reverse, neutral, stop, and let's try it. Smooth. So there you have it. Those are the 5 things that so far have gone wrong with this car. Number 1, the steering wheel doesn't adjust. Number 2, there's a bit of an oil leak. Number 3, the top half of the trunk hatch is slightly stuck sometimes and you kind of have to pull it as you're pressing the button. Number 4, the circuitry in the tail lights and the license plate lights, it's a little bit wonky. And number 5, the transmission clunk, which is the one that probably stresses me out the most, but I have to remind myself that's why I spent only a few $1,000s on this car, and I'm getting a lot of fun out of this thing, and I just have to not worry about it. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I have a bunch of more video ideas coming up for the X5, the BEATER Beamer. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Oof, that's rough.